I am back with the new chapter Elections from your new SST book released by CBSE, and this is the 7th chapter in the list. 7th chapter in your part 1 book. Welcome on the platform Diksha Vedantu. My dear class 9 students, this video is particularly for you and I am your SST faculty. So today we are going to talk about the chapter that is election. It is demanded by a lot of students in the comment section and hence I bought this video. So students, the first chapter of civics. First, I will give you a brief introduction about the book. So new book has been released by CBSE and now you will be having two books, part 1 book and part 2 book. Your part 1 book consists of 9 chapters and this one is 7th in the list. 7th in the list of part 1 book, but chapter 2 from civics because chapter 1 was democracy. So as you learned there about democracy, democracy is a form of government in which the leaders are chosen by the people, or the rulers are basically the representatives of the people. India being one of the largest democratic country in the world, the important feature of this democracy is election. What we can call it, the soul of a democratic representative type of government is what? Elections. Because the way we are choosing our leader is quite important in the democratic setup, and this is what the chapter is all about, that how the world's biggest democracy choose its leader, and we are the world's biggest democracy in terms of population, in terms of area, etc. Okay, so let's start the chapter. There are certain questions which we are going to deal in this entire chapter. Basically what the chapter is all about, what we are going to talk in the chapter is here. Why are election essential for democracy? The first and the important thing, actually why we are talking about election, why we are studying about election, and why they are important. The first question that we will deal. The next is, okay, if it is important, how do electoral system shape fairness? So it is obviously that the election system that we follow in India might not be followed by other countries in the world. That's very obvious. So what are those systems? Why it is fair and why it is not fair is something we are going to talk today. And how do laws and institutions keep elections free and fair? So now then we will deep dive into the system of India, that which institution is responsible for making fair and free elections in India, and what are the schemes or what we can say initiatives taken by the government as well as the supreme leaders to make free and fair, transparent, accountable form of government. Next is, what challenge do election practices face in India? Now, we being a democratic system, that is the important thing, that we can raise the question, we can contradict the government, we can question the government, and that is one of the important feature of democracy. So citing the election system prevailing in India, let's talk about the challenges that's being faced, because these days, if you might have seen recently the election in Bengal, the election in Bihar, and a lot of questions came after that. That is all what we will talk. We will make it a realistic video with real life examples from India. So the first thing, beta, that I want to tell you, that India is one of the largest democratic country in the world with more than 140 CR people, or that is 140 crore of population. Right? In that 140 crore of population, what I got from the number is 96 point some percent people. So not percent, 96 point some crore of people participates in this election. So the major task for this country is to function the elections in a manner that they are accountable, they are transparent, and they do not contain any loophole that it is questioned by the government. Because this is something very crucial, right? Choosing the government for the entire nation that is going to shape our future, and that is what election is. So you guys might be seeing some pictures at my background that gives you insights of, or what we can say, views of the elections going in India, right? So why do election matters, beta? Why do election matter? See, there are types of government all around the world. There are types of government all around the world in which direct elections happens or indirect election happen, right? Direct election means, no, before moving to the direction, I will say that type of government, direct government, indirect government. right? Direct government in the say that people are directly participating in the law making process, decision making process, which you studied in the last chapter, democracy. But can you imagine, beta, that 140 crore of people going to parliament daily and taking the decisions? No, not at all possible. And hence we opted for representative type of democracy, that this 140 crore of people will choose their representatives, and on the behalf of them, the representatives will be ruling us or can be making laws for us. So the first and the most important thing that is only and only possible by election is representation. What is election basically? Elections are basically the way by which we choose our leader. Okay, the way in which we are being asked that which leader do you want in our future. So it should be regular. There should be periodic elections that let citizens choose their representatives, and every citizen get an equal voice. Now by every citizen, you know what I mean? By every citizen, I mean that everyone in India, everyone who is an Indian citizen, not in India, like there are certain foreigners also living in India. So everyone bacha who is an Indian citizen above the age of 18 years, irrespective of caste, culture, religion, race, etc., is entitled to vote, and that is what representation is, which comes from this feature of election. The second is accountability. But these elections, right? These elections are conducted after every 5 years. After every what? 5 years. These elections are conducted, just a minute. I need to change this method. Okay. I just need to change this method. We will be doing this and then moving to the PPT. So what I want to tell you is that, beta, every year, okay, not every year, bhai, every 5 years we conduct the elections. So conducting election after every 5 years, what does it mean? It means that we are making the leaders accountable to us. We are making the leaders what? Accountable to us. If election does not happen in the regular period of time, what will happen? The power will be like into the single hand for long period of time, and they will not feel themselves responsible to the citizens. And hence we conduct elections after every 5 years for Lok Sabha, right? And the state legislative assemblies, so that they feel that they are accountable to the people. If people don't like them, people are going to change them in the next elections, next upcoming election. The next is, it brings legitimacy. What do you mean by legitimacy, bhai? Legitimate right over something. This is my phone, this is my house, this is my mother, this is my father. So what do you feel? And right over these things, na? Similarly, you feel the right over the government. Why? Because it is the government made by you. Legitimate government means the government that is made by the citizens, and hence elections are important. Elections are also important because we provide equality in the nation. That means one person, one vote, one value. Right? What happened? There are a lot of countries which do not provide these features. Like I will tell you example of a country, that is Fiji. But in Fiji, when you will go now, you will see two types of citizens: indigenous Fijians who are born and brought up there, even the ancestors were born there, and then the Indian citizens. Okay, who were like taken to Fiji as an indentured labor by Britishers. So the people resided and the population settled over there. You know that the right to vote, okay, this one person, one vote, when an Indian Fijian vote, na, the value of its vote is calculated as half vote. At least we are not doing that, and hence we provide the feature that there is one person, one vote, and even the value of that vote is also same. So question, whenever the question comes in your exams, why do election matters? So you will start with an introduction, right? And then the points that because it provides representation, accountability, legitimacy, and equality. This is the reason why elections are important. This is the reason, bacha, why elections are important to us. Now tell me, is it clear to everyone? Okay, be active in the comment section if you feel so. Any doubt is coming in your mind, I am definitely going to respond them. Okay, now comes to the topic direct and indirect election. So basically beta, we take part in the elections, or elections are conducted in the country for various posts. By various posts I means for Lok Sabha, like a body like Lok Sabha. Then we have a body that is Rajya Sabha. We have state legislative assembly. In some of the states there are state legislative council. Okay, elections are organized for the post of president, vice president, and so on. Right? When we just evaluated the system of election that is followed for these particular institutions and posts, we figure out one thing, that not all the type of elections are same. Right? And hence we categorize them as direct elections and indirect elections. But before moving to that, right, before moving to that, I know there are a lot of students who actually don't know the basics of India's administrative unit. Right? India's administrative unit, beta. I am trying to make a, pay attention, I'm just trying to make a rough map of India. When I am saying rough map of India, you can understand that yes, that will be actually a rough map of India from your Tanvi Maam's side. However, I try to not make it wrong. Okay, so something like this, it goes like this, then it goes like this. I hope it is looking great. Okay, not great. Fine, this part is not great, but okay. So what I want to tell you that beta, we are a country India. Okay? We are a country India. For the central level, we have a central government. Okay, we have a central government. Okay, this central government is also known as union government. This central government is also known as union government. In this government, okay, in this union government, we have two houses. These are the basics which will help you to understand the chapter further. Okay, so I know that there are a lot of students thinking that ma'am, these are so basics, we learn this in class 4th and 5th, why are you teaching? For the students who are actually not able to understand this, this is the basic slide. Okay, so India, a country with central government. Here we have two houses, beta. We have two houses, that is Lok Sabha and the other one is Rajya Sabha. Okay, Lok Sabha plus Rajya Sabha. Lok Sabha is popularly known as lower house. It is popularly known as lower house, and Rajya Sabha is popularly known as upper house. This lower house, upper house, this terminology was during the time of Britishers. Right? Rajya Sabha, why we are considering it as upper house? Because it is considered in Britain that house was the house of intellectuals, and hence the name came. Okay, so central government, we have Lok Sabha, we have Rajya Sabha, two houses are there, and hence this type of legislation. Why legislation? Because bacha, this is India's parliament, and what is the work of the parliament? To make the law. What is the work of the parliament? To make the law. Among this parliament, whoever gets the majority after elections becomes the government, and they will be executive, implementing the law. But by the way, we call it bicameral legislation. What do we call it? Bicameral legislation, a legislative body which have two houses. Do we have two houses? Yes, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. So we have two houses. Now what happened, beta? India, for the purpose of administration, right? India, for the purpose of administration, is further divided into states and UTs. Okay. Just again a rough drawing I am making, is further divided into states and UTs. In those states, okay, in those states, the government is state legislative assembly. In those states, the government is state legislative assembly. What is the government? State legislative assembly. The member of these are known as MLA, and the member of parliament is known as MP, member of parliament, obviously. But there are some states which have only and only legislative assembly, but there are only 6 states. Okay, there are only 6 states in India which have legislative councils too. Considering this picture, The elections to these body, State Legislative Assembly, Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, these are conducted by a body, that is Election Commission of India. We are coming to that point. Hold on. But further, what happens? These states are, right, for administration purpose, these states are further divided into districts. Okay, these states are further divided into districts. So we have India, then we have states, and then we have what beta? Districts. Okay, these districts are further divided into blocks, and the end level we have villages, and at the end level we have what? Villages. Now this three administrative units, okay, now this three administrative units, that is districts, block and villages, are basically administered by the third level of government, that is known as local government in India. That is known as local government in India. In the local government, bacha, we have panchayats. Okay, we have panchayats and municipalities. Now what I wanted to show you from this particular is the image of India and the bodies for which elections are being organized. Okay, now coming back to the central government, there are bodies like Lok Sabha, like Rajya Sabha. Along with that, there are certain posts like post of president, okay? The post of vice president. Why beta? Because we, India, is a republic body, okay? We are a republic country. That means along with the head of government, the head of the state, that means the head of the nation, that is president, is also elected. Is also what? Elected, right? We are not like Britain, where the head of the nation, that is their monarch, is either the king or the queen, and the post is hereditary. Rather, we are a republic nation in which it is being always elected. Okay, clear with the picture? Now there are different post positions as well as the institutions in India, and for those we conduct two type of elections. We conduct what? We conduct bacha two type of election, that is direct elections and indirect election. Okay, direct election is the type of election in which you vote directly for your representative. You vote directly for your representative, like every 5 years. Okay, for every 5 years, elections for Lok Sabha is organized, and we as citizens elect for MPs, that means member of parliament. How the organization is, we will talk about that in detail. Similarly is for Vidhan Sabha. Vidhan Sabha means State Legislative Assembly, where you directly choose your representatives. The same is for panchayats and municipalities, and the mandate is that for every 5 years the elections will be organized. Okay. However, there are certain posts for which indirect elections are taking place. Right? You will never hear that this time we are going to vote for the president. You will never hear that this time we are going to vote for the legislative council. Why beta? Why? Because your representatives vote for them. Right? Now what you are doing, you are voting, right? You are voting for MLAs as well as MPs. They take part in the election of President of India and choose them. So isn't it indirect election? You choose your representatives, and your representative choose the head of the nation, that is President of India. This type of election is known as indirect election. This type of elections is known as what beta? Indirect type of election. So hence we have two type of election. Direct, where you directly choose your representative, and indirect, when you indirectly choose your representative. The similar such elections happen for the post of vice president. For the Rajya Sabha member, yes, every time election happen, you don't hear that we are going to give vote to the Rajya Sabha members. The elections are Lok Sabha election. The elections are legislative assembly elections in the state. Okay, and then Vidhan Parishad members also. Now this Vidhan Parishad is basically the body that is legislative council in the state. Okay, legislative board bacha council in the state. You know that there are only 6 states in India which follow this bicameral legislation. Now, why bicameral? 2 houses, assembly and the council. So, who are these states particularly? We have Andhra Pradesh, Bihar, Karnataka, Maharashtra, Telangana and UP. Okay, this gets come as a general knowledge to you when teacher is teaching to you in the school, and you should know this. Again, let's revise. Direct, directly participating, indirect, your representatives are participating. What are the institutions indirect? Lok Sabha, Vidhan Sabha, Panchayats. Elections happen after every 5 years. Indirect, president, vice president, Rajya Sabha and members of legislative council. A question, does every state have a legislative council? Answer, no. Which are the states which have legislative council? Here it is written, mug it up right now. Pause the video, learn the 6 states. And this is how we completed one of the most important topic of this chapter and the beginning of the chapter very nicely. Okay, so now as you are still not 18 plus and you have still not given any vote, I will tell you this is the exact scene. This is the exact scene of the polling booth where you enter after multiple checkings, finally you enter. Here also your biometrics are taken and your details are being analyzed. Then you will go inside this box, beta, in the polling station. A machine is kept that is known as EVM, electronic voting machine, right? In that electronic voting machine below there will be symbols of political parties and you just need to press that button. A ticket will come in front of you, will drop down and you will there analyze that my vote is being calculated. So this is how the election is performed in the nation. But ma'am, like, is it, ma'am, that all the elections for all the bodies are done in the same manner? Nope. Right? Is it, ma'am, that in the countries throughout the world the system of election is same? Nope. There are different type of election. There are different types of elections and we are going to learn about them. Now this is something that's critical, that's not easily understandable, and hence I need your focus on the board and on the video right now. So beta, there are different 3 types of electoral system in the world which we are going to compare today. Like, understand that we are making one dish but there are 3 recipes followed by different people. So the dish is the government, but there will be 3 different types followed by the countries in the world, and the first is FPTP. Now what is that? First past the poll system. What is that? I will write the full form over here so that you don't get confused, beta. FPTP is first, pass the poll system. First pass the poll system. Okay? We will learn it with very easy example from our daily life. Consider you are in a classroom. Okay? You are in a classroom of around 10 students. You are in a classroom of around 10 students and now we have to choose the monitor for your class. Okay? Monitor for your class. See beta, whenever we talk about election, now there comes a word that is majority. That whoever gets the majority wins the election. But among 100%, the majority is majorly considered as 50% plus 1. If there is anyone who can get 50% plus 1 votes, then the elections can be like considered that this party win the election. But do you feel that getting that 50% of votes is every time possible in a multi-party system? Like, I can consider this as a possibility in a 2-party system. A country like a country like United Kingdoms which have 2 parties. They will like fight for election. Anyone who is getting 50% plus 1 can win the election. But here in the country like India, we have multi-party systems. Multi-party system that more than 2 political parties exist and they have fair chance of winning the election. So votes will be distributed. Now getting that 50% criteria becomes difficult. So now we come towards this class 10 student, right? Which the class that consists 10 students, right? So basically beta, 4 students are the candidate. 4 students are the candidate. Do you feel that there can be a possibility? There can be, but not always, that one student get the maximum vote, that is 50% plus 1, and hence we will see that who is the student who get highest number of votes. The student who get highest number of votes, I am saying that there was a student A, B, C and D. Okay, among this A got 3 votes, then he got 2 votes, okay, then again 2 votes, how much? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I made a blunder because my calculation is wrong, so sorry, so A got 4 votes. Okay, the rest of the student got 2 votes. Now, who got the maximum vote here? Not talking about 50% plus what, but who got the maximum vote? Student A got the maximum vote, and hence he or she will win the election. This is what is known as first past the poll system, right? The most vote wins, even it is 50%. It is under than 50%, then also the person will be considered as winning the elections. Like A got 40%, they wins the election in Lok Sabha and Vidhan Sabha. So the system of first past the poll system is followed in 2 bodies of India, that is Lok Sabha as well as Vidhan Sabha, because here we are organizing beta direct election. See, in the direct election, for example, in the country, okay, in the country election is being organized for Lok Sabha. Now, I will tell you, for the election of Lok Sabha, country is divided into 545 constituencies, okay, 545 constituencies. So, election is being organized for this 545 constituencies, right? The political party that gets maximum votes will form the government. That means this is the majority. This is what the beta majority. Getting the point or not? This is first past the poll system. And in this system, it does not means that if a party gets 60% of the vote, it will get 60% of the seats. Not possible. Okay? Because here we are choosing the leaders. We are not choosing the political parties. Okay, the next one is majority type of election. Israel and some countries follow that a winner is only the one who cross this 50% of the vote, else a second round will be conducted. Ensures a true majority. In India, this is not being followed. Now we are moving towards the third type of election, that is proportional representation. That is, bacha, what? Proportional representation. Now let me tell you one thing before moving to this proportional representation, that beta in India, right, that in India, sorry, okay, so yes, just a second, I made it little, okay, so in India beta, we have 2 houses, okay, we have 2 houses, that is Lok Sabha, okay, for which direct elections are being organized. So direct elections, for this direct elections, we divide the country into 545 constituencies. People vote for their constituency, and after that we see that among this 545 constituencies, which political party, okay, which political party gets the what beta? Maximum votes, and then according to the proportion we allocate them the seats. Okay, but when we go to Rajya Sabha, we see Rajya Sabha, what they are doing in Rajya Sabha, bacha, in Rajya Sabha the seats are allocated, okay, the seats are allocated according to the proportion of population, okay, according to the proportion of population. Now what do I mean by this according to the population of representation is that beta, now there are states with high number of population and there are states with low number of population. right? And whenever the result of the election comes now, we see that which state had the highest percentage to that political party, and then we allocate the seat. It is not fixed. Then we allocate the seats to them. I just hope that everything is clear to you. It seems critical, but it is not. Okay. Like vote for a party, seats match, vote will be shared. So you are not voting for a candidate here, you are voting for a party here. 40% of votes if you get, then 40 of the seats will be your, which is not in this FPTP system, because that is not actually possible. Okay, so what happens beta? Proportional representation. So in Rajya Sabha, your representative you choose, they vote for the party. Okay, they vote for the party, and according to the proportion of their votes to the party, the seats will be allocated to them. And this is the simple method used over here. So the votes in this type of system happens for Rajya Sabha, for president, and for vice president. I will give you a brief introduction about all these three systems in the world once again. And that is first past the poll system. What is that? First past the poll system, in which direct elections are being organized. You as a citizen vote for, see, we have large number of representation here, na? So we as a citizen vote for the members in the constituencies, your constituency. So in your constituency, whoever gets the majority votes win the election. Okay, so this person is elected from your constituency, another is elected from another constituency. For example, the person from your constituency belongs to a political party BJP, the other is from Congress, the other is from another party, etc., etc. After all these calculations, right, after all these calculations, these people become the members of the constituencies, and hence it is not that if that person got 60% of vote, the 60% seats will be given to that political party. Okay, rather it is like that, whichever political party got maximum seats, like 40% of seats, what will happen beta? They will form the government. Okay, the story is like that. But here in the proportional representation, you choose your representatives. Your representative sits in the elections for the bodies like Rajya Sabha, president or vice president. And it is on the basis of proportional representation. Proportional representation, I will tell you the manner, what they will do. It is not single transferable vote. It is step by step. So a quota is being made, right? Elections. So basically what I know now, these were the topics that we used to study in UPSC, and now that's being added to yours. Context, do not take it so like with difficulty, take it lightly, it's very easy. So what happened now, before the election, a quota is being prepared, that a person who crossed this quota will be chosen as a candidate. So the quota is total valid votes the person gets upon the total seats plus 1. Okay, so what is the formula here? So the formula that is used here is beta as follows. So it is total valid votes divided by total seats plus 1, right? And this will be the minimum votes required to win the election in this type of system. Which type of system? Proportional representation. You know that in this what they are doing, they are not just writing one, they are not just electing one candidate. Like in FPTP, what we are doing, we are choosing just one candidate and that person is winning the election. But here in this, a list is being made. First preference, second preference, third preference, and so on. So whoever is the voter will write that my first preference is this person, second preference is this person, and the third preference is this person. Then counting will be done. Okay, first preference votes are counted. If quota is like reached, whichever the quota is decided for the seats, then the elections, the person will be elected. But beta, if this quota is not reached, the people do not get this minimum votes to win, the parties do not get, not the people, the parties do not get this minimum votes to win, then we will transfer the vote. Whoever get the lowest score, like for example this person, there is a party who got the lowest score, this will be removed and his votes will be transferred transferred to the second preference. Now the the person is removed and we are moving towards the second preference. The counting is done repeated until this quota is being received. Until this quota is being received, and this is used for Rajya Sabha, Vidhan Sabha, President and Vice President. So this is how it is being followed for these bodies. Single transferable votes. Get it? Right? Now from where this information we are getting? Now to the point is that, okay ma'am, we follow this type of election system for different bodies, but if you still feel like that I am confusing in this election system, because yes, it is actually the confusing topic, just understand one thing. Direct elections for Lok Sabha, for legislative assemblies, in which people directly choose their candidates from the constituencies. Whoever gets the majority, whichever the political party gets the majority seats, win the elections and select their leaders, government basically. However, for the bodies like Rajya Sabha, President, Vice President, we have already choose our MPs and MLAs na. They sit in the election and it is being chosen on the basis of proportion of population. 40% if a party gets, 40% seat will be allocated to them. That is it. Okay. Now, to make this game a fair game, the laws were made in the Constitution, written in the Constitution, right after the Constitution is being made. And the first election of independent India after Constitution is written was following this. The first one is Representation of the People's Act 1950. Okay, the Representation of the People's Act 1950. Beta, this Representation of People Act talked about the seat allocation. Like we just saw that in Lok Sabha there is 545 seats, for example, right? Then we have seats in Rajya Sabha. So from where this seat allocation came? This came from the act that is Representation of the People's Act 1950. Then we have one more thing. And what is that? That is delimitation. Now what is this delimitation by? For this delimitation, a separate article is written in the Constitution. Right? What's written in the Constitution, bacha? Separate article. So this is the country. Okay, we divide the country into different areas. These areas are known as constituencies. These constituencies are 545 in number for the elections to Lok Sabha. Okay, this area is known as delimitation. This division of the areas is known as, bacha, what? Delimitation. Are you getting every point or not? So, yes, this is the point. Seat allocation, delimitation, about electoral rules, like you might have seen in your surroundings when elections are going. Some officer is coming at your home with a long list. Okay, tearing the pages of the list in which your parents' name is written, and then giving that clip of that page to your parents. So, what is that? That is electoral roll. A list of the citizens who are entitled to vote in this election is prepared by the Election Commission of India. So the rules regarding that electoral rolls is listed in this Representation of the People's Act. Along with that, how to prepare it and how is to be revised, because every time election happen, new people become 18 years, right? New citizens become 18 years. So it is needed to be revised. Some of them faces death. So it is to be removed. Okay, every citizen 18 plus votes, no discrimination will be there, and everything is written in Representation of the People's Act 1950. Next one, quick. Representation of the People Act 1951. And now what does it defines? This is basically for political parties to be conducted during the type of elections and disputes related to elections. Right? It will talk about the nominations, that who will become candidate, how nominations to become candidate are being filed. So these are the rules regarding political parties. Rule regarding their campaigns. A lot of campaigns. Every time there are elections, people are coming at our homes, joining hands, asking for votes. Right? A lot of loudspeakers around our home. Right? And there are rules regarding that before election, they should not be organized just 15 days before the elections. There should be no bribery. There should be no gift giving habits by the political parties. There should be no manipulative nature on the basis of religion, community. All those things are listed in this act. Okay, against the corrupt practices, offences, voting rules. So this comes from Representation of the People Act 1951. Question can come in your exam, beta, that what does Representation of People Act 1950 talks about? So it talks about seats allocation, delimitation, election rules, its preparation and revision, and no discrimination in universal adult suffrage. Now, what does the law of 1951 talks about? It talks about conduct of elections, no corruption, define offences, rules regarding nominations, rules regarding the campaigns, as well as the voting rules. So, understood? So, this is basically the preparation method, and this is basically the execution method. Okay, however, certain red cards you can see there, that's bribery, grift or promise to sway a vote or candidature chip is not at all allowed. Then we have identity appeals like votes on the basis of religion, caste, race or language, again not allowed. The similar such official machinery is given here regarding officers, judges, policemen and armed forces to be not engaged in the election processes, right? And if they are somewhere made the officers, they will be having no relation with the political parties. Getting my point? So these are the two laws made to conduct free and fair elections in India. Chalo. Moving to the next one, next topic of the day, and the next topic is about this delimitation. Yes, I know. Acha, my PPT somewhere is not good, okay? Something happened with the organization. I will share you the insights. So, delimitation is what? Dekho, for election na, right? For election, we actually need to redraw the map for every election. Let me tell you that, beta. So, the first time that election organized in independent India, after the constitution was made in 1951. Do you feel that the population of the entire nation is same right now? No. Right? Do you feel that the population of all the states of India is same right now? No. And hence we need to divide it into constituencies, into small areas, that is known as delimitation. Why is there need to do this delimitation? So that there will be equal and fair representation. By equal and fair representation, I mean that, for example, there are 545 constituencies in Lok Sabha. That means 545 members of parliament are being chosen. They are being chosen from different areas. For example, there is an MP chosen from the state of Ladakh. Right? There is an MP who is being chosen from the state of Uttar Pradesh. Now, for obvious, the population of Ladakh is less and the population of what? UP is more. What if we divided the constituencies in a manner that each state will have around 20 constituencies? Do you feel that there will be fair representation? No. Why? As the population of Uttar Pradesh is more, there will be lot of people over an MP, where in the state of UP in comparison to Ladakh. And hence, according to the increase, decrease, changes in the population and the territories, these constituencies are redrawn, and that is known as delimitation. So, beta, it fixes the number of seats and boundaries of constituency so that the seat to population ratio stays nearly equal for every boundaries. Right? For every boundary, it should be not like that an MP that is chosen from Ladakh will only represent 5 lakh people, and an MP who is chosen from where? Who is chosen from beta Uttar Pradesh is representing 25 lakh people. Do you understand that he will be working for this 25 lakh people, and this person is going to work only for 5 lakh, and that will be unfair representation. Acha, let me tell you one more important and interesting story. What happened after we became independent? We were the second largest country in terms of population, and then we find that there should be agenda, there should be schemes, and there should be initiatives to promote family planning structure in India. This is what happened. Right now, there were certain states who have worked very good in this family planning structure, like Kerala, like Tamil Nadu, like Karnataka. However, the population growth confined to the areas of UP, Bihar, Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh and all. So what happened now? As these constituencies were divided on the basis of this proportion of population, the southern states were saying that, are we getting rewards? We are making planning structure, and in respect to that, our constituencies number will be declined or the areas will be increased. Right? So that's unfair. Okay, rather there are a lot of states who are not doing family planning, which is actually good for the nation, are getting more number of representatives. Right? So that was the issue. What happened in 1952, this delimitation was made. Then in 1963, it was decided that we will be doing it after every 10 years. Right? Because like whenever there will be fresh census, we can do this delimitation. It was done in 52, 63, 73, but it was not continued, and the next delimitation happened in 2002. The question is what I told you right now. Because of this family planning structure, there were concerns raised by the southern states, and hence the seats were fixed according to this delimitation of 1973. Okay, 1973. Very easy. Now coming towards, this is the picture how elections look like and how elections are being organized. See. So you can see here very nicely, beta. This is the map of India. Okay, divided into small what? Constituencies. These are known as what? Constituencies. Just a second. Yes, so these are divided into different constituencies. For example, you can see that the grouping of constituencies in Jammu and Ladakh is actually less than it is done in Uttar Pradesh. Why? Now again, it is because of the proportion of population, because each MP, right, somewhere should get equal number of citizens on whom they are going to rule or on whom they are going to work for. I will not say the word rule. I should not actually. Right? Now the next one here is beta. This is the map of Karnataka state. Here these constituencies are divided for Lok Sabha election. Here these constituencies are divided for Lok Sabha election, and this is for state legislative assembly. So similarly beta, the elections are being organized for state government. For state government, again, the state is divided into different constituencies. Right? There are 28 states in India, and not all of them carry the same number of constituencies. Why? Again, according to the territory and the population. There are a lot of states which are small in size. There are a lot of states which are big in size. And also in terms of population, there are differences, and hence the state contains different number of members, that is MLA. And this is the map of Karnataka. I have shown it here. Okay, and this is for Lok Sabha elections, where we are choosing the member of parliament, and here we are choosing the member of legislative assembly. Clear? Okay, I'm trying to make this session very much clear to you, so that you don't get confused in the basics basically. Right? Now come towards the powerful body. Okay, the powerful body, which is actually a constitutional body. Right? Constitutional body. Whenever I am calling a body as a constitutional body, that means its mention is in the constitution. It takes its responsibilities and power from the constitution and is responsible to the constitution, basically to the people of India. Okay, so here comes the umpire of democracy, that is the Election Commission of India. It was formed on 25th of January 1950. Okay, 25th of January 1950, and hence every year this 25th of January is celebrated as National Voters Day. Okay, so it was formed in the, what is the date? That is 25th of January 1950. So, the details regarding the Election Commission of India and the process that needs to be followed for this Election Commission of India, the power comes from Article 324 to 329. Which actually talks about their constitutional powers, superintendence, direction and the control, how election needs to be followed. Right? Every big election, like election for the body Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, Vidhan Sabha, Vidhan Parishad, President and Vice President is conducted by this body, that is Election Commission of India. Acha, now one question. Then who conducts the election for local bodies? What about them? Panchayats and municipalities, it is not listed here. This is a question from my side for you. So write in the comment section and tell me actually which body conducts the elections for the local bodies. Let me see who knows this. Okay, great. I will be super happy to see the comment that who knows this. So here the election is conducted for these bodies particularly. Okay? The next is about the nationwide team. Yes, the team we have to talk about. So this Election Commission of India for a long period of time only consisted for one member. You know that? Right? Strange, isn't it? One member, that was Chief Election Officer. CEC he is popularly known as. But later, as the population of the country increased and the burden of the work tremendously increased, what happened? 2 more election commissioners were added in this body. The first person who is the head of the body is Chief Election Commissioner, right? After that there are election officers, but along with them there are certain government job holders who are working during this time of elections, be it teachers, be it nurses, or the officers you see in your surrounding who are basically working for elections. So the duties are being allotted to them, right, by this body, that is Election Commission of India. We will talk about them in detail right now. Okay, there are district officers, returning officers and all that. So autonomous permanent body is that is ECI. What is the playbook? Playbook basically, what is the role of this Election Commission of India, right, to conduct this entire election. Okay? Beta, first of all, to conduct the entire election, they need to figure out who are going to participate in the election. This is the first task, bhai. Who are going to participate in the election. So the first step in this process is to prepare the electoral rolls. Okay, the first step in this election is to prepare the electoral rolls. I'm not making this session a wasteful session talking here and there. I'm just directly stitching to the topic so that you don't feel disconnected in between. Okay, so beta, electoral rolls. What is electoral roll? It is the list. Okay, it is the roll that, like the camera rolls used to come in the previous time, na? So it is the list that contains what? Names of, right? It contains the names of all the Indian citizens, all the Indian citizens who are of the age 18 years and plus, of the age 18 and plus, and these will be entitled to vote, entailed to vote. So you are aware that every year there might be new members who are getting 18 plus, there might be members who are getting who are no more. Okay? There are members who are just taking the Indian citizenship coming from other country. So, and hence these electoral rolls should be revised. Okay, so enumerators visit every home. SIR adds, this is the revised roll that adds new 18-year-olds and deletes invalid entries. So recently when these Bengal elections were organized, there were a lot of clashes regarding this SIR, the list of electoral rolls. That happens in election. This will happen. By being the largest democratic country in the world, there will be differences in elections. There will be what we can say, there will be what I can say here is blames. Yes, I was not getting this word blame. Sometimes my English goes like this. So there will be people blaming for the process of elections, and that is a part of it. Okay, the next is schedule. So after getting this electoral roll done, Now comes the date, every date, right? Date to be set or to be organized for the election. So date is set according to the weather, the exam, the harvest, as well as the festivals too. So yes, everyone gets the leave on this date whenever the election is being organized in the state or the Lok Sabha assembly, so that there will be no hindrance for them to vote, entitled to vote. The third is about political parties. Beta, all the political parties that fights the elections, right, should be registered under the Election Commission of India. And the same body, that is Election Commission of India, allots them their symbol. So right now in India, beta, we always remember the political parties with the symbol Hath Ka Panja. That means that Congress, and then lotus, and then we have broom, and then we have a lot of things. So elephant, right? So these symbols comes from where? Who allocates it? So the Election Commission of India allocates the symbol. And don't you feel that why these political parties have symbols? Beta na, during the time when political parties were made, the illiteracy level was very high. Not only in India, in the rest of the world too. So this is very good, very good steps taken by the members of political parties, that we can choose a symbol. That symbol sometimes also have emotional attachment, and whenever a person, illiterate person, go and vote and cannot find the name because the person is not literate, then they can choose the symbol, see the symbol too. Even for the people who are blind, Braille script is written in that, so that they can feel and vote. Okay, so the right to vote is not taken from anyone. There are more steps like free and fair polls, inclusive, impartial, and trustworthy. Hope so it happens. We are just hoping the same. You guys also hope the same. So this is how the election takes place. This is the person seeing the electoral list. Okay, this is the electoral rules. How does it looks like? And so one election for the country have seven apps to prove that they are transparent, basically for the facilitation of the election system in India. So let's talk about these apps that are started by the government, and the first one is voter helpline. So a question can come, what are the different services provided by the government in terms of technology to facilitate the elections? This is it, voter helpline app. All voter services plus election news is there. Then we have Saksham, custom service for person with disability. So there are a lot of person with disability who cannot go to the polling station for voting, and hence all the facilities by the team will come at your home and they will take the vote. Okay, so this type of service is provided in this from this app, that is Saksham. Then we have C-Vigil beta to report code violation. Now what is code? Moral code of conduct. Okay, so before elections beta, there is a moral code of conduct that is to be followed by all the political parties, like not making rallies and that propaganda stuff just before the election, 10 or 15 days before the election, and lot more. Do not give hate speeches, do not target other parties, do not use religion as the base, and lot more. So if anyone can violate this conduct, you can go and report at C-Vigil. Squads reach the spot in minutes. I will try this once, okay, if I feel so. Next is Suvidha. That is for rally. You will see na rally, lot of vehicles being used there, loudspeakers being rules. So the permission needs to be taken on time. This app is used for that. ETPBS, electronic postal ballots for service voters. Now who are these? Now here is a term being used, service voters. But the service voters are the people who are in army. Okay, I'll talk about this. So there are certain criteria of people who are considered as service voters, like the people working in army or the people working for the country somewhere else, like embassies. Okay, ambassador in another country, but they belong to India. So how they will vote? They will come? No. Service is provided via this app. OTP based system is made so that no one can crack it, etc. These are claims, by the way. So, Aeronet and Sugam e-rolls, dashboards and election vehicle management comes from this app. So, you can also see the apps on the Play Store if you wish. So, you are curious and an engaging student. I added these icons also so that you can see that. This is not in the book, by the way. Okay, so 96.8 crore voices, everyone is being counted. How? The point is how. There are a lot of people who cannot see how they will vote. There are a lot of people who are senior citizens. There are a lot of people who require RAMs in the election, like voting polls. So is the service provided? Yes, obviously the service is provided, like braille EVMs for the people who are visually impaired, right? Then we have voting from home. Now the citizens for which are 85 plus or persons with disability, right? Since 2024 general elections, we are going to their home and taking the vote. And then the people with like disability who are less than this 40% scope, then support is being provided to them for making RAMs, technologies, and even the vote is open for transgenders, for senior person, PVTGs, and everyone without any discrimination, and we are making it accessible to all of them. This is what the government promised. This is what the chapter tells us. Okay, clear to you? Great. Now comes to the point, that is political parties. Arey bhai, this is the main part of the chapter. Why? Because election is happening, and in the election, who is participating? Political parties. See, I will give you a theory now. Now, you might be thinking, Ma'am, why political parties are needed here? Why political? We could have choose the single candidate also, a single representative person also. Then why the existence of political parties is here? Beta, for ideology. We as a nation, where 96.8 crore people are going to vote, right? They will follow, if they will follow independent individual, don't you feel that there will be chaos in elections? Yes. Right? Beta, we do not vote for individual. This is the harsh reality and truth of India. Nobody knows. Actually, when you go and talk to the seniors, the senior citizens, when you will ask, who are you going to vote? I will vote this party. Who are you going to vote? I will vote this party. They actually don't know about the individuals, and hence it was needed. Right? Why it was needed? Because they are voting to a political party. That political party follow an ideology. They believe in this ideology, and hence they are voting that. So the group of people who are having common ideology, they are promoting that ideology, basically becomes the political party. So again, if someone asks you the question, what is a political party, beta? A political party is a group of individuals. What they will do, this great group of individuals will fight elections. They will what? Fight elections, and they have a single ideology for the country. Getting my point? So what are the roles of these political parties? To fight the election. Acha, once they get like victory in the election, they will form the government. What they are doing to do in this government? They will make the laws. Acha, what if they do not win the election? They will make the opposition. So again, every political party have a role. So the political parties comes from citizens. These parties have the ideology. These ideologies are organized in the manner of public opinion. They contest the election. The winner forms the party. The loser forms the opposition. However, the loser word is wrong here. So this is the role of political parties in India, and here is a quick snap of major political parties of India. BJP, Congress, CPI, Communist Party, okay. Then we have Trinamool Congress, BSP, Bahujan Samaj, SP, JD, SHS, NCP, DMK, TDP, and many more. Okay, I just added some 10 major political parties, and here comes the next important topic, defection. Arey bhai, ma'am, how long is this chapter? Yes, this chapter is little long but interesting. And here comes the topic, that is defection. Now what is defection? Have you seen like frog moving from here to there, and similar such members are doing in the political parties. Now what happened? Bribery, everything is about paisa beta. So what happens sometimes, na? Like, let's not make it as a fun. This is something for the nation. So defection, right? Defection means that whenever you choose a candidate, ठीक है, you gave the vote to that candidate. During that time, that candidate was the part of XYZ what political party. After getting the election, because there is freedom, you choose anything you want. So after getting the elections done, the political party, another political party ABC, bribed that individual and said that, "Arey, you won the election, join my political party." ठीक है, join my political party. So what do you think? This person whom you voted for XYZ political party now belongs to APC, and that seat also went to ABC. And is it fair? No. This process is known as defection. Quitting the party you were elected under, or defying its whip. Defying its whip means saying no to its ideology. This comes under a point that is defection. Right? You are elected from a political party and later on you change that political party. Now, there are 2 points, 2 views. Right? That is political opportunism, like we as an individual is also finding for opportunity. Wherever there will be growth in any company, we move to there. Then why not the political leaders? If they want to wish to be the part of the political party who is winning the election, why should they not? Because the political party and the institutions are not working in the same way. Right? Or it is call of conscience. The debate is always open that there are 2 views. What is that? Because the vote was given on the basis of trust, and hence a law is being made to prevent that. That is anti-defection law. Interesting. Anti-defection law, 1985 it was made, and it is added in 52nd amendment. If you quit your party or vote against this whip, you can be disqualified from the house. Yes, you can be, because defection is not moral. Right? If you quit your party or vote against its ideology, you can be disqualified. The speaker, the chairman decides. The goal is to form a stable government, because if people are doing this again and again, there will be no political stability and the government will fall down. If you are still confused about this, let me tell you one more thing. Now comes to the point, ma'am, is it like every time when a member moves from one party to another, it is known as defection? It is known as defection. Ma'am, is it that every time anti-defection law is applied on them? No. This anti-defection law also sets a criteria. That at least this percent of MPs or MLAs, if this much percent of MPs or MLA are moving from one party to another, then only it will be considered as defection. What is that percent? It's around somewhere 6 to 8%. I don't remember that. I forget that law to read before this video. One more thing that I will share you. This is an example of anti-defection if you are feeling confused. So recently what happened? Not recently, it was in the elections, last elections of Madhya Pradesh. Okay? The last elections of Madhya Pradesh, what happened? Now, we are talking about the state of Madhya Pradesh here. So what happened? The election was won by the party, that is Congress party. Okay? And Mr. Kamal Nath won the election and formed the government, Congress party. Now what happened? MP is a state which is being ruled by BJP for longer period of time. So BJP tried to take the members from the Congress. So among this Congress, there was a popular leader, Jyotiraditya Scindia. So Scindias being the group of the Marathas, and they were like having the history of being the part of what? Congress. This person along with some other MLAs, right, switched the party to BJP. Now what happened? When majority is recounted, okay? When majority is recounted again, na beta, this Congress was not getting majority votes. Rather, it went into the hands of BJP. See how defection leads to instability in the government, and in the middle of the tenure, Congress party was not the majority party, and hence the government was formed by BJP. In the mid, this is what is known as defection and the problems caused by defection. Clear? Okay? That's why I wrote it here. Defection, and the frog is like moving here from there. Main duck. Okay. Next. Next is about how parties get recognized. Yes, beta. So, like you are in a class, right? You are in a class. What happened if you are in a class, right? And you scored very nice. You will be categorized as a topper, obviously. But your score is somewhere between 60 to 70. And you will be considered as average student. And the last one will be like, arey, backbenchers. Always we do that categorization. That categorization depends upon your performance majorly. Similarly, in the country, the Election Commission of India categorized the political parties on the basis of their performances. On the basis of their what, bacha? Performances. Like, a party is considered to be as national political party, state political party, or registered political party under the Election Commission of India. Okay? Ranking 1, 2 and 3. So the first one here is national political party. There are 6 national political parties in India. You are going to find out who, like, what are they, and tell me in the comment section. For sure, one is Congress. For sure, another is BJP. For sure, there are a lot more, 4 more, name them. So, 6, if any political, there are criterias also. This was the part of your class 10 syllabus, right? I think that they are going to change the book next year also. So, 6% of votes in 4 plus states, 28 states, among that 4 plus states you have to get 6% plus votes, plus 4 seats in Lok Sabha, plus or now here it is not plus, here it is plus, here it is or 2% of Lok Sabha seats from 3 states, or state party in any 4 states. That means in any 4 states the party is exactly this one. So if you fulfill this criteria, you become the national party. Next is 6% of votes in the Legislative Assembly plus 2 seats, okay, in Vidhan Sabha, Legislative Assembly, or 6% votes plus 1 Lok Sabha seat. LS is Lok Sabha here. So either from this or this, 6% votes plus 2 Vidhan Sabha seats, or 6% votes plus 1 Lok Sabha seat, or 3% of Vidhan Sabha seats, or 8% in the states. This is their criteria. They are calculating. We are not going in detail. We won't be able to do so. Okay. Then registered but unrecognized. They are neither national, they are not state because they are not performing well, but they are registered under the Election Commission of India and they can fight for election. And if they perform better, they can be categorized as follows. Okay. Chalo. We are going to talk about one of the most important aspect of elections in modern democracies, and that is alliance. That is coalition government. That is Gathbandhan Sarkar in Hindi. Right? Now what's this alliance by? Now what happened? You were demanding for a pizza party at your home. You were alone asking to your mama and the answer is no. Then you went to your sibling and let's make a party, join hands with me and we will together ask to mama. Okay, so what will be there? There will be a lot of pressure, right, on mama, and somehow the answer can be yes. However, it's not related to political party. I was just giving you an example. So beta, there are 2 terminologies that you have to understand here. Okay, what are they? One is alliance. Okay, one is alliance, right? After, like before telling you the history of alliance in India, I should tell you the definition first. So there is a word that is alliance and there is another word that is coalition government. That is coalition government. Okay, very good. See, when 2, okay, when 2 or more than 2, when 2 or more political parties, PP is political parties here, come together, join hands, right? They join hands for what? For together they will contest the elections, right? Contest elections. Acha, if this 2 or more political parties who are contesting the elections wins the election, the form of government will be coalition government. clear. The great difference between alliance and coalition government, whenever you are writing answers, you're choosing the like vice versa words. Don't do that. Alliance is different, coalition government is different. So, arey bhai. Okay, coming back to the topic. Okay, what happened? Let us talk about the history of alliance in India. But for a longer period of time after independence, there was a single largest political party in India. That was Indian National Congress. Right? So Indian National Congress was fighting elections and getting the overall majority, and it need not the like require. There was no party to challenge it basically. So till 1967, everything was going good. But what happened then in the states, because we also provide opportunity to the state, as we are a federal country dividing and sharing powers with the states. So what happened in the states? Small regional political parties came into being, and this alliance started in the states. Okay, so that single dominance party was the status was declining. And in 1977, Janata Party was the first national coalition, right? And this is after the emergency. Emergency, if you know, Indira Gandhi, the prime minister from the Congress party, right, did emergency in the country, after which she had a negative feedback, and hence Janata Party challenged it and won the election. So first time in the nation, coalition government was formed. You know, the strongest coalition was formed during the time of 1990s, and that coalition is known as NDA. National Democratic Alliance. Now, what is National Democratic Alliance? Alliance of the BJP. Like the dominance is BJP, and with BJP, more political parties are there, and they together known as what is alliance. So, in this 1990s, an alliance came into being, that is NDA. Then we have UPA, that is United Progressive Congress, United Progressive Alliance, where Indian National Congress leads, and there are more Communist Party and more which are alliance basically. Okay, in 1997, 1998, around the new coalition government came into being, that was formed by Atal Bihari Vajpayee, right, epitome of like democratic leaders. So again, 2023, UPA reconstituted. Yes, recently we have seen that the UPA, United Progressive Alliance, led by Indian National Congress, joined by all of the major parties in the country and formed an alliance, that is India. Here I am calling it as alliance because they did not won the election. This was the age of alliances. Okay, now comes towards the path-holes. The path-holes that are actually present in the Indian election system. Although the repair kit is there, the repair kit with RPA, Representatives of the People Act 5051, Model Code of Conduct, EVMs, VVPAT, awareness drives, lot of apps and all that, still during the time of elections, country face lot of challenges like misinformation, corruption, black marketing, right? Other than that, hate speeches, regional speeches, fake news, and a lot more. You can name all of them, right? And hence, vigilant citizens plus a strong election commission can make the democracy stronger. So, along with the responsibility that this is the responsibility of Election Commission of India, we as citizens also have the responsibility. So, in the upcoming years, you are going to be the finger in this voting system. So, hence, you should be educated for that. What are the things to remember from this chapter is listed here, beta, and this is how you have to just do the chapter, complete the chapter. I hope that I am able to provide justice to this chapter by this video, and everything is crystal clear to you. We will go back to the starting of this video. Why we are going to go back the starting of the video? So that let's see that if anything is like missed or not. So we started with the how elections happen in the largest democratic country in the world. 4 big questions which we answered throughout this video. First important thing that comes as a question is, why do election matters? Beta, these are the 4 points. You frame the heading, These are the heading keywords, frame the line and get full marks. Next, then we have difference between direct as well as indirect type of elections, and the organizations and the like institutions and the leaders for which these type of elections happen. Then we learned about the different electoral system in the world. We follow FPTP and proportional representation. I told you the difference between the same. Then we talk about the single transferable vote. Then the laws that are made to make the system fair, transparent, accountable with these two laws. Okay, the questions can come separately for the People of Representation Act 1950, that what does it contains, and similar one was 1951. Very, very important about delimitation, right? We have seen that how delimitation is done for both state as well as the national elections. Election Commission of India, body responsible, pay attention at the articles, very, very important. 25th January celebrated as National Voters Day. Okay, and then the playbook, what is actually the work of Election Commission of India, the question will like that. So these are the steps. This is the work of Election Commission of India. Then the 7 apps listed here. Then we will talk about the political parties as well as the features provided by the government to make voting accessible to everyone. Write these points, 3 points. Okay, and this is how the chapter ends with the we're talking about political parties, criteria for their recognition as national and state party. Again, an important question. What is political party? Which party is categorized as a national party? Which party is categorized as a state party? What do you mean by defection? Which is the law for the defection? And this is how the chapter goes. Last question that's very obvious from this chapter is, what are the challenges in the Indian election or the Indian democratic setup? Clear with this? And this is how we end with the chapter election. More will be coming from this chapter for you as NCERT questions and more practice session on the same channel. If you like the video, if you're watching me up till now, obviously what you have to do is to hit the like button and subscribe the channel right now. Bye bye. Take care.